Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. I'm so glad and excited to be here. And I also want to believe that you are glad and excited to be here also. If you can hear me, can you just give me maybe double one? Use the live chat and just type double one, one, so that we know that you guys can hear me and that I'm clear and audible enough for you all. If you can hear me, just type 1, 1. 1, 1, double one, 1, 1, double one, so that I will be sure that you all can hear me. Okay, Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for joining this session. We are going to be getting started immediately. We are not wasting time. We already fixed this program for 5, and I believe whoever wants to join should have at least prepared to join around that time. So we are getting started immediately, and we are starting with the documentary. Now, guys, listen. We are not doing the documentary because we don't have anything to do. We are not doing the documentary because we don't have anything to say. No, we are doing the documentary. We want you to watch the videos. We want you to listen to the video so that you will get one or two things from it. We are intentional about everything we are going to be doing right here. We are so intentional about it. I also have my friend and my guest is here with me, but I'm going to introduce him when it's time for him to come up. I will introduce him. So we are getting started and we are diving straight to the documentary. Please don't think it's a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. I'm set. My guest is also set to give you value, but documentary comes first before whatever we are going to do this evening, and we are so intentional about it. If you listen to the documentary, it's going to help you. It's going to go a long way in helping you to pen down your thoughts, pen down your perspective, conceptualize give body to that idea that you have upstairs. So that's why we are bringing up this documentary, so that you're going to learn from it. Please, it's not a waste of time. Take it as if you are listening to someone. Take it as if you are listening to the guest. Take it as if you are listening to me. That's the best way to make good advice. We're going to be starting with a documentary. We're going to be watching quite a lot of videos. And we're going to be starting with the first one. And so you may not see my face. I may not talk. I will just be switching from one video to another, Don't waste this opportunity. Don't waste this session. It's not a waste of time. We're not trying to waste away time at all. We are so intentional about what we are doing and what we are giving you this time. So cheers and God bless you all. Enjoy.
The Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. I am committing $100 million to support the next generation of African entrepreneurs. The program represents a decade-long commitment to support 10,000 African entrepreneurs and startups. The program is open to entrepreneurs from all 54 African countries. Over the next 10 years, our goal is to generate 1 million jobs through these 10,000 businesses and to help contribute at least $10 billion to revenue across Africa through these businesses.
In 2016, I was lost. I didn't know where I was heading to, but then I saw this ad about the Tony Elumelu Foundation and I applied. That was the pivotal moment.
The seed from the Tony Elumelu Foundation is the bedrock all our success is sitting on.
When the Tony Elumelu Foundation found me, I was small.
If the foundation had just given me this money without taking me through the mentoring program, maybe this business would still be an idea.
I was just coming into entrepreneurship, and the 12-week training exposed me to how I can really run my business. Even as me having the technical skills, I also need the entrepreneurial skills to be able to run a profitable business.
For me, the program, the most impactful was the training, which was, it was really tough, but it was also amazing. It has made me look at my business in a deeper level than what I used to. And now I'm able to start seeing what's important and what is wasting a lot of time, yet it's not bringing in either the money or making an impact.
What really stood out for me was the learning material and basically the 12-week program, and very, very specifically the legal aspects of the program.
I have seen these young Africans prosper from some who didn't even know what to do with their lives until they got the $5,000 seed capital from Tony Elumelu Foundation and the mentorship and the training, to now having annual turnover in excess of $3 million. That gladdens my heart. That to me is a dream come true.
We've actually done a couple of international runway shows. We've done African Fashion Week Amsterdam. We've done African Fashion Week London. And it was a very, very good experience. In fact, the African Fashion Week London just came after I participated in the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. I met a lot of designers from all over the world. African designers are very talented. I got a lot of feedback. A lot of people were interested in my pieces. Like Talkies magazines. I was even featured in the December issue of British Vogue. Yeah, so it was an editorial piece about African fashion.
I went for an interview with the American consulate, and I said I was a Tony Elumelu entrepreneur. They started looking at me differently. A lot of people think that if such a global organization like that has actually said that our business can actually transform Africa, they actually believe us and they want to give us more opportunities.
Alors, quand j'ai débuté la transformation des flux locaux, je le faisais chez moi parce que je n'avais pas de capital financier pour me lancer réellement. Alors, la fondation Tony Elumelu m'a offert deux opportunités. D'abord, c'est la formation. Les 12 semaines de cours m'ont vraiment apporté parce que je suis économiste pur. Le business était un point connu. Je voulais me lancer, mais je me suis lancée, mais ça n'allait pas bien. Avec les 12 semaines de cours, j'ai pu vraiment cerner mon business, affiner certains points. Après, il y a eu le capital de démarrage, le site capital. Ça m'a permis d'avoir un local, quelques éléments pour débuter.
On a very personal level, I would say the moral support. I mean, aside from receiving or getting anything from you guys, just that knowledge that if I did ever need to pick up a phone and talk to someone and say, I'm trying to figure out my way around this, can you advise me? Or shoot one of you guys an email, I know that you're there. It's those little things where you know that you have a family who have your back and who are always going to support you in what you do and who want to see you succeed.
What we wanted to do was to democratize luck. We're not targeting any sector. We just want people who believe in themselves, who have ideas that can develop the continent.
The future of Africa is in your hands.
Africa is a land of opportunities. There's no better time to be and become an entrepreneur in Africa. Government is to set the right environment, but the private sector must take lead and take charge. I've been an entrepreneur myself, and let me help to create more. That is the driving force behind the Tony Elumelu Foundation.
Through the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program, I am committing $100 million to support the next generation of African entrepreneurs. The program represents a decade-long commitment to support 10,000 African entrepreneurs and startups. The program is open to entrepreneurs from all 54 African countries. Over the next 10 years, our goal is to generate 1 million jobs through these 10,000 businesses and to help contribute at least $10 billion to revenues across these businesses.
What we wanted to do was to democratize luck. We're not targeting any sector. We just want people who believe in themselves, who have ideas that can develop the continent. And so that was what drove us.
To select the best candidates, the foundation developed a clearly defined selection criteria against which the application will be evaluated. In the first 3 years, the foundation has provided $15 million as seed capital funding to the 3,000 entrepreneurs across Africa to support their businesses. In addition, the foundation has invested over $10 million in building the technology infrastructure, content, and marketing of the entrepreneurship program. To help achieve Mr. Elumelu's vision, the foundation is supported by the prestigious investment firm Heirs Holdings and by one of the country's oldest institutions, United Bank for Africa, which operates in 19 African countries.
We need to understand the philosophy of African capitalism. This is a realization first that the private sector has a role to play in the development of our continent. So at Heirs Holdings, we know that we have to be profitable, but more importantly, we know we have to impact mankind, humanity in a sustainable fashion. What we do through the Tony Elumelu Foundation is to make sure that this economic philosophy is inculcated in the minds of young entrepreneurs who are coming up. The essence of Tony Elumelu Foundation, not just about giving capital, is giving capital, you learning how to manage capital, because if you manage $1, you learn and know how to manage $1 billion. And we're very appreciative to our over 500 mentors across the globe who stay up at night when necessary, supporting our entrepreneurs.
And finally, the Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs are now traveling each year across Africa, from Casablanca, Cape Town, Dakar, Nairobi to Lagos, creating an unprecedented gathering of African entrepreneurs from 54 African countries.
I'm from Ghana,
Zimbabwe,
Nigeria,
Sudan, Rwanda,
Niger.
Je viens du Gabon.
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Rise up to meet it. I wish you all a wonderful 2 days of learning and networking.
You are building the biggest network of African entrepreneurs and African businesses. You're to also obviously learn from those who've been through the baptism of fire. All the speakers, the international delegations who have come, many of them have traveled at their own expense to come to Lagos, because they can feel that African entrepreneurs are on the rise. Yeah, they have come to experience firsthand what it is to engage and speak with the entrepreneurs directly.
You are not the average millennial. You are African millennials, which is something different. Because in terms of innovation, we are number one in some technological niches. We are number one in digital payment. You will be the first generation to be able to say, through all your own efforts, Africa is now first.
For many of the entrepreneurs, the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Forum is the first opportunity to network, cross-business partnership, and ideas.
I want to provide rural areas in Gambia that have completely no electricity, access to electricity, and that's through solar home systems.
We are into branding, digital marketing, and consulting.
Restaurant of Beauty is all about creativity out of our African prints.
Je suis dans l'agro-business, dans la production et la transformation de tomates.
I want to see a Ghanaian interact with someone from South Africa and let them build economic ties. Ultimately, people do business with those they are comfortable with those they know. And nations and people who have economic ties don't go to war. So we need to begin to unite Africa from this point of view. The future leaders of Africa must indeed have platforms that bring them together. You have to create the environment, the condition that will make life easier for them and make them competitive. And that is why we have teamed up with other leaders.
Hope and imagination are more important than history, because your history is not necessarily your destiny. Indeed, your history must not be your destiny. The breadth and depth of talent and innovation on display in the current and previous Tony Elumelu entrepreneurship cohorts have shown that there is indeed hope.
The Tony Elumelu Foundation has achieved a lot, and I see this in the faces of young Africans I meet with, I interact with when I travel to countries, and it's amazing what you see, the energy you see,
the hope that has been brought back to these young Africans. I hear stories of how entrepreneurs are transforming their communities already. To me, that's a true validation of what the foundation is doing, a validation also of our chosen approach to intervene.
The secret is the training I got from Tony Elumelu Foundation, and I'm so grateful to them.
We took the money that we had from Tony Elumelu, and we did $1.6 million last year.
So the foundation should be satisfied that we indeed have orchestrated a movement on the continent of entrepreneurship. We have seen the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program grow from the first year 20,000 applicants, second year 45,000 applicants, and now over a doubling to 93,000 applicants. That is mind-blowing.
Among those entrepreneurs, over 25 sectors are represented. Interestingly, the biggest of them is agriculture, leading the sectors with 27%.
I'm happy also that the female representation has improved, but a bit saddened by the fact that some hopes have been dashed. And we at Tony Elumelu Foundation are open for partnership so that collectively we can create a better future for our young ones.
We have to collectively, each according to its capability, join hands in helping to transform Africa. And you and other entrepreneurs must keep passing the baton until there's no more poverty in Africa, until there's no need for our people to search outside for success, when indeed success resides in Africa. This is the future we want for Africa. And this is the future that is now in your hands. Good luck.
Join us as we transform Africa. Visit Tony Elumelu Foundation.
Hi everyone, my name is Okocha Nkem. I'm the founder of Mama Money. So Mama Money is a social enterprise that empowers poor women in rural and urban slum communities with free vocational and financial skills. Also, we provide access to finance for these poor women. The major challenges I had were getting access to finance to grow our business and also mentorship, and the Tony Elumelu Foundation helped me to achieve this. They gave me a seed grant of $5,000 to grow our business and also provided a mentor in my sector, that is the financial sector. I was given one of the best mentors on the platform, that is the CEO of UBA Capital, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Sane, and through our guidance, we've innovated a lot of things in Mama Money.
Joel Chero, a young model farmer from the Mount Elgon slopes of Sebei. I am also a Tony Elumelu Fellow, a beneficiary of the 2015 $100 million entrepreneurship program, where I was trained in modern business management. I was connected to mentorship, and I also attended a 2-day boot camp in Lagos, Nigeria, and was seeded to a tune of $5,000 fund my business idea. The $5,000 was a miracle in my life. I was able to set out the most sought after demonstration garden in Uganda, attracting visitors from all over the country, seeking knowledge on best practices in agriculture. My demonstration farm was able to attract His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, because of a model that has evolved out of an acre of land and through $30,000 per annum. It has attracted a magnitude of international NGOs that are involved in supporting agriculture ventures among young people to partner with me. Because of the $5,000 from the Tony Elumelu Foundation that started my enterprise, I have secured an MOU with an international NGO worth about $70,000 to put up an entrepreneurship training center to skill youth in agribusiness, and I'm modeling it based on the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program.
Je suis Mathius Lawson, nominé parmi les 1000 meilleurs jeunes entrepreneurs d'Afrique par la Fondation Tony Elumelu en 2015. Notre défi est de nous étendre dans toutes les contrées du Bénin et même au-delà des frontières béninoises avec notre géolocalisation. Et à cet effet, nous sommes à la recherche d'investisseurs pouvant nous permettre de relever justement ce défi. Je lance un appel à Tony Elumelu et à tout investisseur qui aurait afin de pouvoir sa pédagogie. Pour ce qui est du programme, je dirais que c'est le management en tout cas qui a été apprise. J'ai continué mon engagement avec la Fondation Tony Elumelu en allant vers des universités de la place. On a rencontré aussi des jeunes béninois qui sont dans le besoin, qui sont des porteurs de projets, à s'inscrire massivement pour le programme de la Fondation Tony Elumelu afin de leur donner les mêmes chances que j'ai eues afin qu'ils puissent aussi se lancer dans l'entrepreneuriat africain.
My name is Momar Mastal. I'm a TEEP entrepreneur from the Gambia. My company is Tropingo Foods. We're a food processing company based in Gambia. We focus on value addition in the fruit and nut industry. One of the greatest things that I learned from the TEEP program is how to structure my company and how to manage my company well. So a lot of the training that we did was geared towards administrative and entrepreneurship. These are things that if you don't have the right background knowledge in it, you can easily mismanage your company, especially a growing company. Another benefit is the alumni network. The alumni network is vast. There's 1,000 entrepreneurs from every single African country. This is a very valuable network. I stay in contact with a lot of them through the TEEP platform and through our own private messaging. This helps me learn more about different markets. Eventually we want to expand into different African markets, and we've already started the process, and a lot of TEEP entrepreneurs that I met during the journey have been a part of that. That is a great asset for my company, and we look forward to working with more TEEP entrepreneurs.
The engagement after the program has been so awesome. I've had the opportunity to be invited to different networking events organized by the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Also, Tony Elumelu is a lender of my platform. Staffs of the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Foundation are lenders on my platform. My mentor, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Sani, has been so supportive. She's a woman that is so busy, but she takes time to listen to me. She takes time to go through things with me. She takes time to advise me. For the new alumni, the Tony Elumelu Foundation program can be a game changer for you if you properly utilize it. The seed grant is for you to invest into your business and not for you to eat it up. You need to be more accountable, you need to be disciplined, and you need to be focused. We need to become little Tony Elumelus in our various communities so that Africa can be liberated from poverty.
Be disciplined, be focused. After you receive your grant from Tony Elumelu, invest it wisely and stick to your business plan. The reason I say this is a lot can happen within a year. I was in the same place as you last year, and today my business grew rapidly because of principles that I was taught through the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. So I would just like to urge you guys to believe in yourself and be disciplined.
And when I started back then, my revenue was less than 100,000. But immediately after the seed capital until date, my revenue has increased to 10 million naira on a monthly basis.
My name is Kolarile Odekoyin, founder and CEO, Young Zoologist Enterprises. I am a beneficiary of Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program.
I love to clean the entire body water. It makes it easier for me to select my fishes like this. But in some other tank, you'd rather go for a scooplet.
At Young Zoologist Enterprises, we produce fingerlings for colleague farmers for them to rear. We as well rear our own fingerlings to table sizes for the industries like the restaurants and the barbecue. We are also into smoked fish that we supply to the local markets and the international markets. Remember, way back after my youth service, I came back and I was still hunting for a job. And for a few years, I was hunting for a job and the job never came. I got to hear about Tony Elumelu application in 2016 through a friend, and I decided to give it a shot. When I first started, it was like a joke. I started moving from one eatery to the other, from one restaurant to the other. But today, a lot of people have come to identify with my own kind of smoking fish. The seed capital has contributed a great impact in my business. It has made me to earn a living. I've also been able to employ youths around my community as staffs and some as contract staffs, and they are also earning living and adding values to their families and themselves. I've also been able to hit and contribute to the SDG goals, which boils down on zero hunger and poverty alleviation. Hello, Joy. Hello.
Hello.
Báwo ni, Joy? My business was when I got a call from Florida
and the connection continues just like that from Florida. When I got a call from Florida, and one of my highest and most exciting moments in my business was when I got a call from Florida, and the connection continues just like that from Florida to Canada. So,
mo like ẹ gan ó ti tó bí 3 years wọ́n ti ń tà so mo like èmi gan fúnra mi mo gba ti àwọn kọ́sítọ́mà mi gan tí n bá filẹ̀ báyìí wọ́n máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹja yìí ẹsẹ̀já yẹn fún wa kíní kan madam kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ bó so àtìgbà yẹn sá bí 3 years sá mo ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ àti mò ń ṣe fún wọn tán lẹ̀ ń gba tiẹ̀ tán like ẹ̀.
I'm so proud that I find myself in this industry where we are helping even the GDP of the country to grow. My business means hope to me. My business makes me feel so happy, especially seeing my business affecting lives. Very grateful to you and the foundation for giving people like us this opportunity, because a lot of people do not really believe in what we're doing back then at the startup. We are hoping as Zoologist Enterprises that in the nearest future I will become a global brand that will be contributing more to food supply, especially in the aquaculture subsector, and thereby creating more employment for the citizenry.
Okay, well, welcome back from that amazing documentary presentation. So I hope you guys learn one or two things. So please make use of the comment section. Let me know what you've been able to get from that short documentary presentation. Please drop it there. Let me know what you've learned from that short presentation that was done now. Daniel Victor said, personal consist. He said, discipline, focus. Yes, be disciplined and be focused. Consistency. Yeah, personal consistency that can improve the nation's GDP. So you're not just focusing on yourself, you're focusing on a bigger picture. You're focusing on a dream that is higher than you, that is, not just connected to you alone, but also to the development of the country. Then so I just have a few things to say before I start my presentation. Number one, the first thing I would like to tell you guys is that only you can limit yourself. In this entrepreneurship game, only you can limit yourself. Don't look down on that business idea that God has given you. Don't look down on that skill that you've learned. Don't look down on that value that you can give out for people to enjoy and then get rewarded from it. That idea will remain an idea only when you limit yourself. You can look at that's why I took time to carefully select the videos to present to you so that you can see that it cut across the success of all business and sales. You can see from the acting to the agriculture to the finance the lady that was, lending people money. It cut across all business structures, all business sectors. So don't say my idea cannot fly. Only you can, only you can limit that business idea. Only you can limit that business idea. So that idea that you have can fly, and it's the truth. That idea that you have, it can fly. Don't limit it. Just be focused and be disciplined. And for those that have been, applying and applying and applying year after year, year after year, failure is only failure until you've accepted that you failed. Failure becomes failure only when you've accepted, you've come to terms that you failed. Yes, I know you've tried over and over and over again, but maybe it's time for you to sit down and learn how it's being done. Maybe it's time for you to sit down and learn how it's being done. By God's grace, I applied just once. I heard about the program 2014. No, I heard about the program 2015, and then I didn't apply that same year because I looked at the application process and I realized that I have a lot of things to sort out. I have a long way to go in terms of knowledge, in terms of presentation of my business idea. So I took a whole year to learn how to present what I have to the foundation. And in 2016, I applied, got selected, got funded. No story. Once you have the knowledge, once you can present what you have, what you can conceptualize that thought, that business idea that you have well, and you can defend it, you'll definitely be selected. You'll definitely be selected. So these are just the few things I will be sharing with you from the documentary. Now let's just go straight into the business of the day. That's my presentation before I invite my amazing friend and wonderful brother. So by God's grace, I'm an alumni of the foundation, and I'm also an active mentor of the foundation. So everything I will be teaching, everything my friend will be teaching you this evening, there are things that we've done and tested over time. There are things we've produced quite a lot of alumni just by doing this, just by telling them how to apply, showing them what to do, showing them what not to do. And I'm so sure and certain that if you can, listen to everything that we'll be sharing with you this evening, if you can, adhere to the instructions, strictly adhere to the instruction, I'm so much certain that you will move to the next level of the application phase. So let's get started. Um, let's talk about the foundation, and then we'll talk about the seed capital. Because if you don't have a good idea of what you are applying for, then it becomes difficult for you to position yourself in a way that you become beneficiary, beneficiary of that which you are applying for. So most people apply, most people become emotional and just apply, and then they don't even have a good idea of what they are applying for. They've not studied it, there's no research, there's no information, there's no knowledge on what they are applying for. But you just see them, they apply, and then they come and tell you that they were not selected. There's no how you will be selected when you've not satisfied the requirements to be selected. And you can only satisfy the requirements to be selected when you truly understand what you are applying for. So the foundation was established in 2010 by the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Of course, the owner happens to be Tony Elumelu himself. That's the chairman of the United Bank of Africa. Sorry, I wanted to say United States of America. United Bank of Africa. So Tony Elumelu Foundation was established in 2010. And the owner of that foundation happens to be the chairman of the then United Bank of Africa. That's Tony Elumelu. Now, the foundation's long-term investment in empowering African entrepreneurs is emblematic of Tony Elumelu's philosophy of Afri-capitalism. Now, when I was making my research, please, can you all hear me? If you can hear me, just type 111, please. Just type 111. Let me know you guys can hear me, so I won't just be talking. If you can hear me, just type 111. 111, please. 111. Does it mean that you guys can't hear me? Well, okay, 111. Thank you. I can see that. So when I heard about this, I did a research on that Afri capitalism, because if the foundation of the investment of empowering African entrepreneurs is Afri capitalism, then you need to have a good knowledge of what Afri capitalism is. You need to have a good knowledge of what Afri capitalism is, because when what you are presenting is not leading towards that goal, then you definitely won't be selected. You definitely won't be selected. So, what is Afri capitalism? I will attempt to explain from the quote that Tony Elumelu himself gave himself. The future we all want for ourselves is in our own making. And then he says something in one of the verses. He says, creation of capitalist economy that is driven by African to serve the major needs of African in all private sectors, meaning Africans themselves should be the major drivers of the African economy. And how to do that is when there is a kind of influx of African entrepreneurs, a type of inflow of African business idea creators. And then when you have business ideas and it's conceptualized, it's funded, there is a contribution you are bringing into the table as far as Africans economy is concerned. So we're not just looking outside Africa to develop Africa, we are looking in Africa to develop Africa. And like he said there is a limit. If you listen to the video very well, he said the government can build the economy of any nation or any country. The major drivers of the economy of any nation or country, they are the entrepreneurs, they are the SMEs. The major role of the government is to provide enabling environment for these SMEs to thrive. Now, if we are bringing the whole burden on the government, then the SMEs won't be doing anything. And that means that economy will not grow. It means that economy will not grow. So Afri capitalism is an idea where the creation of the economy of Africa is driven by Africans themselves to serve the major needs of Africans first, before taking the value out. That's the main concept. That's the major meaning of Afri capitalism. So let's continue. So if you listen to that video, it's a kind of $100 million commitment to train, and not just to train, to mentor. So the foundation will train, the foundation will mentor, and the foundation will fund. The foundation will train, the foundation will mentor, and the foundation will fund. Of course, the funding is a function of your own diligence in the training and the mentorship process. So it's an $100 million commitment to train you, to train me, to mentor you, to mentor me, to fund you, and to fund me, so that we can change the business face of Africa and outside Africa. Afri capitalism. Now, we are going straight into the major concept of the program now. On the every 1st of January every year, the foundation, the TEF entrepreneurship program is always open to entrepreneurs from all over Africa, all across Africa. Now, it doesn't mean if you're a startup, it doesn't mean if you're a business idea, as long as The business idea is between 3 to 5 years, you have a good positioning. Sorry, 1 to 5 years, I mean, you have a good positioning. So it doesn't, even if it's a business idea that you are just conceiving, if it's a business idea that is just coming to you and you can prove it, of course, proving by doing your own business analysis that will be discussed later, proving by doing your own research, proving by doing your own feasibility study, and you can convince the foundation that if they pump in 5,000 US dollars into that business idea, it won't die. Remember, it's a seed capital, and a seed capital is expected to grow. A seed capital is expected to produce fruits. So it's operating in any sector. As you can see from the document, you can see from the videos that just presented to you, all sectors. As long as your business idea is legal, all sector, and is open to 54 African countries. 54 African countries. Now, most people ask me this question that, oh, this 5,000 US dollar, is it refundable? Is it a loan? Is it a grant? And I understand why the questions keeps coming up, because people are really afraid to take loans. But this is a grant. It's called seed capital investment, but it's a grant. You are not expected to refund. The only way you are expected to refund is to make use of the seed capital and then use it to generate employment, use it to increase the GDP of the country, of Africa. Use it to drive the economy of Africa so that you can provide the need that Africa requires of. That's the only way you are expected to refund the 5,000 US dollars. So what are the milestones? What have they achieved so far? Number one, they've provided training, mentoring, and funding of 15,000 plus African startups. 15,000 plus African startups. And these guys, they get 5,000 US dollar every year. So the accumulation of the successful entrepreneurs, they are 50,000 plus, 50,841 from all the 54 African countries. So you can imagine, out of almost 800,000 applications, only 50,800 have successfully been funded. Why? Because these are the people, these are the guys that have been able to prove to the foundation that their business idea can thrive. And of course, there is a limit. There is a limit of selection for every year. So if they don't get selected this year, they move to the next year. They either get selected. If they don't get selected, they keep applying. They keep applying. But if you position yourself well, there is a way you can position yourself well and offer what will increase your rating. And if your rating gets increased, you will definitely be positioned to get selected out of the 1,000 that will be selected. So these are the milestones. These are the things that have been achieved over the years. They've assisted in the creation of 400,000 jobs plus in Africa. You can imagine 400,000. That's massive. That's really, really massive. And don't say yours cannot be there. Yours can be there if you can position yourself well to benefit from it. 409,000 jobs in Africa, not just Nigeria alone, in Africa. So what are the 7 pillars? There are 7 pillars of the program, and I'll be explaining the 7 pillars briefly. Number 1, mentoring. So you are not just going to be trained, you are going to be mentored, you are going to be attached. You can hear from the last documentary. The lady said she was given a mentor that was always available whenever she calls. The mentor is also an investor in her business. You can imagine a network. You can imagine a platform that connects you to someone of high value and caliber and that can invest and trust you with their fund. It doesn't mean that all mentors must invest in your fund. The only investment that they are expected to invest in you is their intellectual capacity. Anything outside that is something that they are doing out of their own will. Mentoring. Though you have access to 12 weeks business management training. 12 weeks business management training. I think they started this I think 2 years ago. When they first started the program, if you are not selected, you won't have access to the 12 weeks business management training. If you are not selected, you won't have access to it. But now, if you are selected, if you are not selected, you have access to the business management training. Your selection will now be based on how diligent you take that business management training. You take that 12 weeks business management training. So some people get selected into the business management training, but they don't get selected into the funding phase. Why? Because they are not taking the 12-week business management training diligently. They are not focused on it. Then knowledge resources on the TF Connect platform. The platform helps you, gives you access to a lot of resources, a lot of templates you can help build that can help build your business. Then the meetups. There are several meetups of the alumni, of the fellows of the foundation that you can also be part of. Networking. Then the annual TF entrepreneurship program. That usually the annual TF entrepreneurship program that the foundation organizes to enrich the minds of those that will be funded. And then we have the seed capital funding and then the alumni network itself. Are you getting value, please? Are you guys getting value? So let's go to the program eligibility. How do you apply for the TF entrepreneurship program? It is open, like I said, to all the 54 African countries, but your business plan must be the one with must be a scalable business idea. A scalable business idea, meaning you must have checked, you must have done your research, you must have done your feasibility study. In fact, you will be funded if you can convince the foundation that is scalable, or a business that has been in operation for not more than 5 years. So that's the development stage. They can also invest in the development stage of your business or the ideation of your business. That's moving from the ideation into conceptualization. You are converting that idea into a concept that can be related with, and that's maybe your product or service. So the second question, is there an age limit? Yes, the applicant must be 18 years and above before you are considered. It must be what? 18 years and above. Now, after completing the application process, I'm told I'm not eligible to apply for the program. Applicants who do not meet up with the cutoff during the application process will definitely not be called for funding. That's why I said you can move from the application phase to the 12-week business training stage and don't get funded. You don't move to the funding stage. Why? Because you didn't meet with the cutoff. You didn't meet up with the cutoff. You didn't meet up with the cutoff. But it doesn't stop you. It doesn't stop you from having access to the resources. It doesn't. It doesn't stop you from having access to the resources. You have access to the resources, but you won't have access to the fund. Then, is there a restriction on the types of business and industry? The program is not open to research institutions. The program is not open to faith-based organizations, value-adding trading companies, government contractors, or businesses not located in Africa. So how do you position yourself? Your business must not adversely also affect the environment and lives of people. So people apply with business ideas. People apply with ideas that negate all these structures, and they are expecting to be they are expected to be they are expecting the organization to fund them. It's not possible. You will even be selected, not to talk of getting funded. So your business must not be, they don't fund research institution, they don't fund faith-based organization, and they don't fund any value-adding trading company, government contractor, or businesses that is not domiciled or located in Africa. Your business also must not affect the environment, lives, and property. So from everything that we've been saying now, you should start checking yourself. Okay, this business idea that I'm planning to present to the organization, this business idea that I'm planning to present to the foundation, is it in line with all this eligibility factor? Is there a restriction on the age of my business? Yes, from 0 to 5 years. Let me repeat it, 0 to 5 years. So if you have a business registration certificate that is more than 5 years and you plan to use it, definitely you should not, that will not fly. It definitely won't fly. Why? Because it's not within the let me use duration. I don't want to use age bracket, but it's not within the time that has been given by the organization for your business to be in existence. 0 to 5 years. Also, if you are related with any TEF staff, you won't be considered. You won't affiliated with any S holding group, UBA group, or TEF staff. If you are related, you will not be considered. So how do you apply it? We're moving to the application process now. How do you apply? All applications must be submitted online through the application platform of the TEF Connect. So you are expected to complete the application form. We are going to take you through how to complete the application form. You are expected to complete the application form and answer a series of mandatory questions before you move to the next phase. Now, what if your business is a partnership? What does this mean? It means your business, you have a business idea, but that business, the structure, the system of that business is such that is a partnership system. That is, you are collaborating with one other person to run the business, and it's official, is documented in your CAC document. Then the two of you cannot front the business idea. Just one person, just one of you will have to be the major principal of that business as far as the TEF Foundation is concerned. You can now get the fund and implement it together, but two individuals cannot stand for one business. Just one person is expected to start for the business. Okay, I missed what? You said I missed, I don't know, I don't understand your question. Well, I'll just continue. So another question is this: can you apply offline? No. All applications must be submitted online through the TEF Connect only. All applications must be submitted online through the TEF Connect only. So you are not sending any hard copy to anybody. That's not the system put down by the organizer or by the foundation. You have to apply through the TEF Connect. So what if English is not your first language? Yes, we know we are dealing with Africa, but the application form is in English, French, and Portuguese. English, French, and Portuguese. At least you should find yourself within these three languages. So what are the important dates? 1st of January, application opens. 1st of March, application closes. 1st of January, application opens. 1st of March, application closes. So you have how many days now? For some of you, you've been collating your ideas, you've been doing so many things. You have from now till 1st of March to submit your application. To submit what? Your application. What information or identification do you need to provide? Number one, you have to answer all the mandatory questions from the portal. You have to answer all the mandatory questions that comes up on the portal, and we'll also be going through that very soon. So how many applicants will be choosing to join the program? 1,000, but there are times that they exceed this 1,000, probably whenever they have any external investor. There are times that they take 200 more, there are times that they take 300 more, there are times that they take 500 more. I think there was a year they took extra 1,000 based on the level of funding that is available. Must it be a registered business? We'll give time for question and answer, but let me just answer this directly now. It mustn't be, when you are at the point of application, it mustn't be a registered business. But before you end the application, getting funded, you have to register your business. In fact, the fund will be sent to your business account. So if your business is not registered, you can't open a business account. Not to talk of giving the foundation your business account for them to send the funds there. So as we speak, it may not be registered, but at least work on it to get registered so that you can also work on your account opening documentation. So is there any application fee? No. The application is totally free. The application is what? Totally free. So what's the selection process? Number one, feasibility of the business idea. How feasible is the business idea? How real is the business idea? How realistic is what you are presenting to the foundation? How realistic? For some people, they will say, okay, in their financials now, they will project like 100% of the funds that the foundation is giving them in their financials. That's unrealistic. Because there's a in your business plan, there is a phase for your financials. That's unrealistic. That business must be feasible. It must be something that is realistic. It must be real. Because money and funds will be committed to it. And if money and funds will be committed to it, then the person that wants to drop the fund is a seed capital investment. So the person that wants to commit that kind of money into your hands, you know that yes, I'm committing money, I'm putting in money in something that I know is real, that I know can thrive. Number two, market opportunity. Is there a market for that thing that you are is that market for the business idea that you are proposing to the organization? Is there business idea for? Is there market for it? Because the end result of producing is to sell. The end result of producing is to have consumers, is to have customers that can patronize, that can engage with your product, that can engage with your services. Now, if you are producing something that people don't need, then there's no point investing in it. I know you will definitely run at loss. So why should I invest? There's no point investing. Scalability. The potential for the replication and growth of that product and services to create job and wealth. Is that business idea scalable? Is this something that we can bank on, that okay, in the next 5-10 years you should have gotten this amount or number of employees working under you? Remember the goal of the fund, Afri-capitalism. And I explained earlier that it's a process whereby Africans provide solutions to African problems and needs. And one of the needs of Africa right now is employment. So if your business is not scalable, if it's not something we can see that can deliver employment slots for Africans in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, then there's no point funding, there's no point investing into that business idea. Then, of course, leadership potential and entrepreneurial skill. Actually, as far as I'm concerned, I think leadership is everything, because if you cannot lead your life, you can't lead a business. If you cannot lead a business, you can't lead a state. If you cannot lead a state, you can't lead a country. Leadership skill, how to manage yourself, how to manage people, how to manage your emotions, how to manage yourself when you are losing, how to manage yourself when you are profiting. Leadership. So for some people, you may be asking me, okay, why was my application unsuccessful? Well, there are so many reasons why your application might be unsuccessful, but let's look at the few reasons I have here. Number one, you didn't complete the application. Most people usually think that they're done with the application, whereas they are not. There are usually so many incomplete applications. Incomplete applications. So you have to take time, sit down, and ensure that you complete your application and submit. Don't just complete your application, complete and submit. Your business idea is more than 3 years. There is usually variation between 3 years and 5 years. Because if you go to the TEF portal, they have 5 years there. If you go to their working document, they have 3 years there. So I usually advise people that if you're presenting your business idea, you should use the lowest, the minimum, so that you won't be victim of wrong information. That's why I'm having it here that more than 3 years. More than 3 years. Then your business idea is not based in Africa. Remember, the major goal of the funding is Afri-capitalism. If your business is not based in Africa, then you are not solving Africans' problem from Africa. So we are importing solutions to solve African problems from outside Africa, which defeats the purpose of the funding. Then your description in one or more sections of the applications are not clearly described. So you have to be explicit. You don't need to use big grammars and English. Explain yourself with simple terms and English. There are so many applications. Don't give your reviewer headache. Don't give your reviewer problem assessing your applications. And of course, maybe your application did not meet the eligibility criteria, which was described earlier. So is there a waiting list? Yes, there is a waiting list. Like I said, I think last 2 years, after the selection of 1,000 successful applicants, I think there was inflow of investments, and they had to pick another 1,000. After that, they had to pick another 500. So that year they picked 2,500. But as far as the foundation is concerned, their major goal for every year is 1,000. So yes, there is usually waiting list. If not selected, can I apply for another program cycle? Yes, you can. If you are not selected this year, you can apply next year. So the program stage is the application, training and mentorship phase, the 12 weeks business management phase, then business plan submission phase. After you've been taught, after you've been mentored, you're expected to do a business plan of your business idea, and you're expected to submit. Then once you are done with that phase, you move to the pitching phase. You're expected to pitch your business idea within 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And then you send them the video, and then you move to the last phase, which is the seed capital phase. So if your business is not registered now, you have between the application phase to the business plan submission phase to get your business registered, because the name of your business will be used in your business plan. So you have from the application phase to the business plan submission phase to get your business registered. So what's the structure of the shortlisting? The test question weighs 40%. The test questions weigh how many percent? 40%. Because when you are applying, you will be asked questions, personality questions, so many questions. You'll be asked questions. Those questions weigh 40%. Then your interaction on the TF Connect, because you of course you create your account before you apply, and there are so many engagements, especially when you get to the 12 weeks business management training. There are so many engagements that you will be expected to take up. So that takes 50%, and then your engagement with your mentor also takes 10%. So test questions 40%, interaction on the TF Connect 50%, mentor engagement 10%. So how do you apply? How do you apply? You go to TF Connect. You can see the slide. Let me post the link so we all can see. tfconnect.net. Yeah, tfconnect.net. And you create your account. When you're done with your account creation, you input your first name, your last name, your email, and your password. From there, the link, the connecting link will be sent to your email. Remember, you are inputting your mail here. The link will be sent to your email, which you have to access through your mail. You have to access the link through your mail. So when you access the link through your mail, this is the mail. This is a sample of the mail you are going to get. So you click on the confirm mail. When you click on the confirm mail, your account confirmation will be successful. Then you can log in and log out at will. So when you log in, this is what you're going to see. You will have to fill this information into the portal, and then you move to, that's for the account creation. So when you are done with your account creation, from this phase, you have access to the resources on the TF Connect. The TF Connect was actually designed and built for entrepreneurs to have access to resources. So you don't need to be a beneficiary of the foundation. You don't need to be a beneficiary of the 5,000 US dollars to open your account on the TF Connect. The TF Connect is for entrepreneurs to have access to the resources given there. So from here, you now click on applications. Applications. Then once you click on applications, you can see you click on applications. Once you click on applications, you click on the 2023 TF flagship program. That's the only active grant for now. If you notice, all other grants, they are closed. That's the only active grant for now. 2023 TF flagship program. So once you click on that, it takes you to the welcome page. You have to select your language. Like I said, it gives them from different languages. You select your language, then you are up for the assessments. You are up for the assessments where you are expected to be assessed. You input your details first. Don't say you've done that before. This is application for the grant now. The details you inputted here. Let me go back to that slide. The details you are inputting here is just for account creation on the TEF portal, on the TEF Connect portal. So most people do this and think they've applied for the grants. No, that's what they call incomplete application. You've not done anything at all as far as TEF is concerned. You are just onboarding. You are onboarding yourself on the portal, the platform, the TEF Connect platform. So when you click on application here and you click on apply, this is when you can now begin to apply. This is now the grant now. This is the application for the 5,000 US dollar now. You input your name and other relevant information, and this is where I will be stopping and ending my own session. My wonderful friend will be taking the application questions. So let's just go on break. In the next maybe 2 or 3 minutes, he will be back, and then I will read this. I will introduce him, and then it takes it up from there. Thank you. Please don't leave. Listen and be patient. Cheers.
Tony Elumelu, described as a 21st century philanthropist, set up the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Through its programs and activities, the foundation seeks to institutionalize luck and create an environment where entrepreneurship can flourish in a sustainable manner.
My vision was to help empower the
is knowing that if I give my word, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to just exceed expectations. I will blow out your mind when I'm delivering. Who are resilient and who believe in synergy, that I do not exist on my own, but there are other people within the space that I need to work with to deliver superior value. Then we also want people who believe in Africa.
The foundation had been doing a number of things. We had done what they call the AMIC program, where we were bringing students in business schools across the world to have some kind of experience in businesses, in small businesses in Africa. We've done several things. We make donations to the best students in certain disciplines in the universities.
In April 2014, Parminder Vir OBE were invited by Tony Elumelu to help structure the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. Parminder is an award-winning film and television producer, expert in media investments and emerging markets.
When I arrived, Mr. Elumelu was thinking that we should give $10,000 as a grant. So one of my first things was also to really change the mindset. Entrepreneurs don't need grants, they need investment. They need to know that you as an investor, an angel investor, a family or a friend are taking a risk with your capital in their enterprise. Yeah. So the word seed capital investment or a non-returnable seed capital investment was introduced. Entrepreneurship is teachable, learnable. I totally believe in that. What sustained me was the phenomenal network that I built. So networks are really, really critical. Information, quality information that's available, which is selected and curated. And also, obviously, funding, yeah, and mentoring. Mentoring is absolutely critical. So I guess I set about, leveraging my own experience as an entrepreneur and as a filmmaker to see how I could transfer those skills to designing the framework for the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. And what emerged after 10 months of doing that was the 7 pillars of TEEP.
The 7 pillars of TEEP provide a unique system of effective and intensive support for the startup. Having steered the development of a model for Pan-African, multilingual and sustainable program, Mr. Elumelu launched the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. He also declared 2015 as
I am committing $100 million to support the next generation of African entrepreneurs. The program represents a decade-long commitment to support 10,000 African entrepreneurs and startups. The program is open to entrepreneurs from all 54 African countries. Over the next 10 years, our goal is to generate 1 million jobs through these 10,000 businesses and to help contribute at least $10 billion across Africa through these businesses. We're not targeting any sector. We just want people.
Okay. I have my amazing friend here, Mr. Olugbenga Ogunbowale. Okay, guys, this man is an amazing man, and let me read his. I had to dig out this is his biography. He didn't send it to me, but I digged out this stuff. Let me just read to you guys. Be patient. Be patient with me. Let me read. You can see from the award behind said that this man is an amazing. That this man is an amazing man. Okay, Olugbenga Ogunbowale is a communications executive and a social entrepreneur and alumnus of the Leadership in Business Institute of Kellogg School of Management, USA. He has a certification in integrated marketing communications from IE Business School, Spain, a certification in humanitarian communication from the University of Geneva, Switzerland, and a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology from Obafemi Awolowo University, Nigeria. Inspired by the plight of millions of unemployed youths, Olugbenga founded ePower.ng, a digital agency building websites and apps to passionately grow businesses as well as training youth to accelerate the application of digital skills for economic prosperity across Africa. You can see is African thing, it's not just Nigerian thing. Olugbenga is the co-founder of Africa's biggest orphanage outreach coalition, the Orphanage Empowerment Society, TOS, an NGO working to end orphan poverty in Africa by equipping over 23,000 orphans with free vocational skills, medical care, and food. He is also the co-founder of the communications and leadership organization, Pacesetters Leadership Club, a Mandela One-Sheeting Fellow and Ambassador Tony Elumelu Foundation Fellow and Influencer, Royal Commonwealth Society Fellow, Yali West African Fellow, Yali Star of Business, NYSC Merit Award winner, and Yali Network Influencer. Olugbenga has been honored by multiple institutions and government. Olugbenga has spoken at numerous events addressing high-level audiences, including governors, business tycoons, lawmakers, and stakeholders across the 3 continents. Olugbenga has been featured by the United Nations, Voice of America, USAID, NTA, TVC, LTV, BCUS, Radio Nigeria, and Tribune, amongst all others. With a clapping ovation, can we just welcome Mr. Benga Ogunbowale? Please give it up to him. Just say welcome, sir. Make use of the comment section and let's honor and appreciate his presence in our midst. Let's just type it. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Let me. If I don't see welcome, sir, I won't bring him on board. Okay, one. Let's welcome him warmly, and then it takes over to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the opportunity to share. I'm really excited to be on this call, really excited, and I believe that you will, and thank you so much for sharing, the documentary, very inspiring documentary, and then, the tips that you've been sharing, Clint. So I believe that you're just called to essentially, learn the information you need to win grants for your business. So I want to see the people that are ready to win the Tony Elumelu grant, $5,000 grant on this call, right? So if you're ready and you know in your heart that you're the next winner of the $5,000 Tony Elumelu grant, I want you to go to the comment section. I want to type me. In other words, we don't need to do in primary school and say, me. I want to type me, M-E. Just type me in the comment section, right? I'm looking forward to your comments. I want to see the people that are ready for this session. Very quickly, let's go. Yes, Daniel, I see you. Who else again? Okay, Joshua is ready too. Who else is ready for this cup? Baba is absolutely ready. Me. You know, that's what we do in primary school now. You know, and me. Fantastic. I love this. I love this. I love this. Fantastic. Okay. All right, so I'm going to share live. My slides very quickly. Um, yeah, I mean, I absolutely love the energy. Okay, somebody is saying my audio is not clear enough. Is my audio good enough? So Daniel is complaining about my audio. Please, let's talk about my audio. Is my audio good enough? Or do I need to really do something about my audio? Okay. I'm going to see if I can do something about my audio. Sorry, just a minute. My mic. Okay. I'm switching my mic now to. Okay. How is my audio now? Is it better now? Is my audio better now? Please, I need your comments. Is my audio better now? Can you hear me better? Oh, it's very good now. Joshua is saying yes. Adela is saying my audio is not audible enough. Okay, it's somebody saying it's perfect. Okay. So it means Adela, probably it's your network, right? Probably it's your network because it seems every other person likes the new audio. So it's probably your network. Probably. Okay. So I'm trying to share my screen now. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, so I'm literally sharing my entire screen now, and essentially, please tell me that you can see my slides. Can you see my slides? Can you see my slides? I am going to. Sorry, just a minute. Okay, so let me move it away. Right. Uh, Please don't mind my screen. My screen is misbehaving currently. It is okay, but you can see my screen. Okay, all right, okay, that's fine. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to my screen. Right now, I can't see the I can't see the comment section, so I'm going to rely on my host and boss, to give me feedback, Mr. Yodeji. So just in case there's a comment that I need to check on anything, because right now I can't see the comment section. I can only see my screen. So if there's anything that is wrong, I'll be relying on him for feedback because I can't see the comment section right now. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the application questions, and let's talk about the structure.
of the TEF application. The assessment is divided into 4 sections, and it requires approximately 60 minutes to complete. It's even possible for you to complete it in 30 minutes. It's possible. I mean, if you're very fast, but there's no need to rush it, right? When you want to take the assessment, make sure that you are in an environment free of distraction, right? Even if it's going to be on your phone, make sure that you're in a place where you're everywhere is quiet, you're able to focus, right? Don't take it in a noisy place or where you'll be distracted. Another key thing is you would be required to upload a form of ID, right? So maybe that's your international passport, driver's license, maybe even your voter's card, right? Today we voted earlier today. You know, my on my my thumb right now, you can see the mark. I went out to vote. So if it's your voter's card, that's also fine. Now, the first section is getting to know you. That's the first section. It's getting to know you, right? And essentially, for this section, there are basic questions. What is your name, your gender, phone number, next of kin, social media. So basic questions. I mean, you don't need any explanation for this, right? So basic stuff. Um, and then also, your education, the ID, how did you hear about theft, it's a drop down. So basic stuff here. No need to flog this, right? How many years of business startup experience do you have, right? Just put the actual experience that you have, right? Now, you should note that it should not be more than 3 years because I mean, if and the advice here is really solid. Like if you have a registered business that is over 3 years, don't use it for your application, right? Um, because if, for instance, your business is over 3 years, that should be a mature business, right? So if your business is over 3 years and it's still very tiny, right, it probably means there are some structural issues, right? There are things that should happen in a 3-year-old business that are not necessarily expected to happen in a 6-month-old business, right? So don't forget this, right? Don't forget this. 0 to 1 is perfect. 1 to 3 is also fine, but above 3, I mean, you know what to do. Okay, let's move on. So do you have a business name for your business or idea? Yes, you should have a business name, right? Even if you don't have a business name right now, come up with a business name. Right? And how do you come up with a business name? There are many ways to come up with a business name. You can use, for instance, you can use words that describe what you're doing and combine them together to form a business name. So, for example, right, I'm the CEO of Grantmaster. At Grantmaster, we write grant proposals. We help organizations win grant funding. And so that's the name of the business, Grantmaster. We're a master at writing grants, right? And like even the business that I've run in the past, essentially they follow that same format, right? EPA, the full name of EPA is Electronic Power, and EPA, is a website and mobile app development agency, right? Electronic Power, right? Social media agency that I run, the name is Social Sugar, right? So now you don't have to copy my style, right? Or it might just be something that is not related to your name, but for me, I find that it helps when the name is connected to what you do, right? Because people are able to get what you do, right? But and there are business name generators on the internet. Whatever works for you, just come up with a business name. Is your business registered or not? It's not a big deal. You don't have to register it now because you're applying for TEF. If it's not registered now, once you win, you will have to register, right? You will have to register once you win. So that's something that you should know. Okay. Don't worry, I'm going to take all of your questions at once, right? So I want to go through all of the questions because I know some of you already have questions. And don't forget, I can't see the comment section right now. I cannot, right? I cannot. So I want to go through all of the content and then move away from here and then take all of your questions. Okay. In number 100 words, what will be the impact of your business or idea to your immediate community or country, right? So here you really want to think about the benefits your company will provide, right? There's an example here, right? Talking about employability of Nigerian youth and how the Learn Station app will equip them with skills so that they can go into business or something. Now, think about your own business. Even if your business is maybe, for example, let me for a small, a typical business. Maybe you are into fashion design, right? So what would be the impact of your business or idea, right? As a fashion designer, as your business grows, you could create jobs. You could create jobs. You could create 3 to 5 to 10 to 20 jobs, like in your community, right? Depending on the kind of clothes that you're producing, it's possible that you are probably helping a particular target market, to meet their fashion needs. Let me give an example. And let's to shoes for a minute. Do you know that people that have very long legs, big feet, people that have long legs and big feet, for example, right? They struggle to get their size. So, for example, I use 45, 46, and it's always a struggle to get my size. So imagine that we had a shoe company that just focused on that, plus size people that have very big feet, and then you're helping them, get their shoes. You're helping them get, fine quality shoes. You're boosting their self-esteem. So you have to focus on those social benefits, right? You cannot just say, oh, my company is going to, make revenue, right? No. How will you create jobs? How will you solve a pressing problem in the society? How will you help people, be healthier, be safer? So think about those social benefits, right? Those are the things that you want to highlight here. So I hope that you're learning something. I hope that I hope that we're connecting, right? I want this to be very interactive. Yes, I know that I'm not monitoring your comments, but I'm coming for you. Number 6, which of the SDG goals does your business idea support? Just go, Google 17 SDG goals, or just Google SDG goals. Go and read up on them, and then you know the SDG goals that your business, or your business idea, is well aligned with. You actually need to read up on SDG goals because essentially, aside from theft, a lot of grant applications will require you to talk about the link between the business and SDG goals. So this is really something that you should look into. Read up on the SDG goals. It's really going to help you even beyond theft. Okay. Let me go back. Some questions here. So, is your business, your ideal business, your field of experience? Of course, the ideal answer here is yes, right? Because it helps. If you already have some form of, let's say, for example, you are a psychologist and you are maybe running a training center, or maybe like you're launching an initiative focused on mental health, right? Can you see that's a perfect fit? You study psychology, you're not involved in mental health. Makes a lot of sense, right? So that's the ideal answer. But if it's no, please, by all means, say the truth. How many years of experience? Say the truth. Let's move on. How many hours are you currently working on your idea? Ideally, you should be working a minimum of like 25 hours. Ideally, right? Right. So you should not write. I mean, we don't expect an answer of 1 hour per week. That shows that you're lazy, right? that's not a progressive answer. Right? Are you working with a team? It's not a problem if you're not working with a team right now. A lot of businesses started as a one-man business, so that's fine. Um, are you currently making revenue? Of course, the ideal answer is yes. But if you are at the idea stage, you're probably not making any revenue, so that's understandable, right? Sorry, just a minute. So it's understandable if you're not currently making any revenue. That's understandable. Um, how much revenue are you currently making on the average per month? Right. So just pick the right option here. Again, say the truth. Um, okay. So give a little description of a startup idea. If you do not have a final startup idea, then describe an industry or customer problem you might want to build a business around. Minimum 50 words, maximum 500 words. Now, I like the answer tip here essentially, right? Because if you're saying maximum 500 words, that's a lot of space and to write, all right? So follow this tip, right? First of all, define the problem you're trying to solve. Every business, should be trying to solve a problem. Your business should be, a solution to a problem. It should not be a problem in search of a solution. It should not be a problem in search of a solution. Your business should be, actually solving a problem, right? So let me give an example, right? With e-power, one of the problems we're trying to solve, the major problem is unemployment. Young people are unemployed. And so when you equip young people with digital skills, what do? You help them become employable, right? You give them the tools, to become employable, to get jobs, right? And so for you, you have to define what problem, am I trying to solve? What is that problem in society that is, really nagging me and, that I really would like to solve, right? So define that problem. Now the solution, of course, talk about how you intend to solve it, right? So for you, for example, training, right? Training unemployed in digital skills so that they can get paying jobs. That's the solution, right? And then the market size, right? So what is the market size, right? There are, for the sake of this session, there are two ways to estimate market size. There's a top-down approach. There's a bottom-up approach. You need to read it up. The the top-down approach is when you start from maybe like the industry market size, and then you narrow it down, till you get to like maybe like the number of people maybe in your city that need your service. The That's the top-down approach. The bottom-up approach is where start from you start by estimating how many sales you think you can get probably in your community, your area, and then you grow it from there. Like, okay, in my community I can get this number of sales. In my state I can get that number of sales, right? And then you take it from there. So, sorry, just a minute. Yes, yes. Okay. All right. I'm back. So I would advise that you read up on market size. Essentially, read up on market size. I think it's really going to help you. It's really going to help you, even beyond theft. Now, business model. Of course, talk about the business model. Business model is how your business makes money, right? So talk about your competition. How are you better than them? What are you doing differently from your competition, right? Now, when you're talking about competition, don't mention brands like Dangote, or UBA as your competition, or let me see, you mention MTN as your competition. No, those are not your competitors. They are your ancestors. How can you be mentioned? How can you say Dangote is your competitor? Why are you comparing sleep with death, right? So please, those ones are your ancestors. Just focus on probably some brands that are bigger than you, of course, but not like very far away, right? And compare and contrast, right? Compare and contrast. So ideally, startups would be good, you can list them as your competitors. Marketing plan, how you intend to sell your products or services. Just one paragraph will do, right? Do you intend to sell through social media? Are you going to do flyers? Hopefully not. Are you going to do radio? What are you going to do, right? Your team, talk about your team. And here, basically, you want to emphasize, you want to hype the part, the part where you want to talk about the qualifications of your team, right? So if I were to talk about myself, I would mention, some of the awards that I've won. I'll mention my education. I'm currently an MBA student. I would mention that, right? So talk about your team, right? So awards, certifications, qualifications, educational background, those things count. Your financial prospect too. So by the time you put all of that together, you have a solid um, content for that question. Do you have a mentor? Yes or no? It's fine. You can either pick yes or pick no. If you pick yes, of course, you have to share the name and contact details. Now, the reason for this is Tony Elumelu is always looking for mentors, right? They're always looking for mentors for this program. So they probably just want to bring in your mentor into the program. So, no worries. Tell the truth. Okay, so let's go to section 2, which is a personality test. For this, the thing you have to understand about the personality test is, it's really to help you is to understand the kind of personality that you have. And what this means is that entrepreneurs have a certain personality test, right? There's really no wrong or right answer, but I think you can take, free personality test online, just so you can have an idea of the kind of questions, right? Now, there's also an IQ test, an intelligent quotient test, where now this one, the questions are like, think about jump questions, right? Or quantitative and verbalism when we're growing up. Those are the kind of questions you would see. So, for example, look at this: the cost price of 50 mangoes is equal to the selling price of 40 mangoes. What's the percentage profit, right? So here you probably have to write it, cost price of 50 mangoes, right? So that means the cost price of 50 mangoes equals selling price of 40 mangoes. You need to write a mathematical equation down in order to be able to like solve this, right? Even though it looks, easy, but I mean, I would not trivialize this. I'll just put out my pen and paper and do the math. And so be ready to meet questions like this. And so you meet questions like this, right? Let me look at this question, for example. What do you need in the right order? Of course, you need an idea, right? You need a plan, right? Then you need, let me see. It's not money that you need first, it's idea. The plan, money, and partners. Even though I probably would have said partners before money, but according to this particular question, it's idea, plan, money, partners. You always need the idea. The idea is always the first. How do you balance your? So essentially, you would see questions like this, right? You see questions like this, and essentially, you need to answer this like an entrepreneur, and that's why you may have to like read up on, take personality test online, take IQ test online, just to prepare yourself before you take this test. Because once you take this test, that's the end, right? right? You can't take it again. So that's the end. Okay, now for section 4, there are some business and commercial questions, and then you see questions like this, right? Essentially, you would need to calculate some of those questions, and you can take you know like I recommended, you can take IQ test or business test, right? Or just Google questions to test my business skills or questions to test my business knowledge, right? There are sample questions online that you can take to prepare yourself. But essentially, just think about quantitative and verbal reasoning, right? Basic stuff, nothing hard. Don't worry, you'll not be doing trigonometry or permutation and combination here. Okay. Then, of course, the final part is declaration, right? Where you're declaring that, oh, I'm not the criminal, I have not killed somebody, I have not defrauded somebody. Of course, I'm being dramatic, right? But you get the gist. So, okay, let me stop sharing my screen. And sorry, they just took my lights down. My inverter just ran out. I will switch to generator very soon. But let me stop my camera for now. And yes, so that's the end of my presentation. Questions, comments. Questions, comments.
Thank you very much, sir. So let's drop our questions, please. Let's drop our questions, please. Let's drop our questions. Drop your questions. We just have few minutes for this. Drop your questions. Drop your questions. Thank you, everyone, for thanking me. Please drop your questions. Okay, so should I assume that we don't have questions? Okay.
Okay,
Mr. Gbenga, we have a question.
Yes. I can see Daniel Victor. When I ask the question of your mentor, are they referring to your mentor in your line of business? Yes, so just generally your business mentor, right? Generally. And if you don't have one, that's fine, right? It's not a big deal. Don't sweat the question. Don't sweat it. Victoria, please, sir, all these questions is sorry. I can't see. Something is blocking my screen. Sorry, just a minute. All this question is just to apply. Oh, okay. All this question is just to apply. Victoria, yes. You are the one that wants to win $5,000 now. So, yes, Victoria, correct. Joshua, does this support other businesses that have no physical products? Joshua, yes, absolutely, right? Absolutely. TEF is not only about um, businesses that have physical products. I mean, their TEF supports IT businesses too, right? So it does not matter whether you have a physical product or you don't have a physical product. All of the section 1, 2, 3, 4 is needed for application. Victoria, yes, but Victoria, don't be worried or be disturbed by the volume of questions, right? Some of these questions are actually like yes or no questions, right? Especially for the earlier sections. It's the later sections where you have to do some calculation and stuff like that, right? So it's not all the sections are require calculation. Daniel Victor, please, sir, does your performance on this application question determine whether you'll be brought on board or not? Yes. So when you score very high, you would then move on to the next stage, right? So yes, absolutely. If you score very low, you will not move on to the next stage. So Daniel, I hope I answered the question. Precious, Sam, must you have very established business people applying? Precious, no. It's open to people that have ideas, right? It's open to people that have ideas. However, from my own experience, it helps if you've at least started doing something, right? So that means like there's some progress on the idea or the business idea. There's some progress versus somebody who just has an idea and hasn't done anything, right? So I hope I answered the question. Any other question? Okay. In the absence
Okay,
of
okay.
other questions, looks like
Yeah,
my
in the absence of no other question, I think we've done justice to this. We actually planned for 2 hours, and we are here. It's just 1 hour 58 minutes. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the session. I want to say a very big thank you to Mr. Lugbenga Ogunbowale for joining us this evening. Thank you very, very much, sir.
my
So
boss. I'm proud
grateful.
to comment. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Mr. Fatai, my business is not registered under the government. Yeah, your business does not have to be registered under the government before you try. Like he said, they are looking for your idea. They are looking for your idea, not your business. Your idea. And if you are running your business already, then you should have a business. You should have the business registered at least. Like I said, the money will be paid into your account. So, and you need the register, you need a document, you need a business registration document to open your bank account. So that solves that. Now, yes, if your business is similar to someone else, no problem. As long as you are not using the same name, you are not doing another person's application or business plan. Why not? It will be successful. That's not a challenge at all. Yes, I think you should be able to use your temporary national ID. Oh, national ID card. Mm, I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure of that, but a temporary ID card is still an ID card, but I'm not really sure of that. I don't the way they've been doing ID card things now is quite funny. Um, the way they've been doing the ID card thing is quite funny. What 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 entails the business plan? Okay, your business plan is a written structural formation of your business. It's a written structural formation of your business, and there are so many things that your business plan must contain before you call it a business plan. And these are the things they will be teaching you in the 12 weeks business management training. They'll be teaching you in the 12 weeks business management training, so you shouldn't be afraid of that. You shouldn't be afraid of that. Um, any other? Must you have a business account before you can apply? No, you don't. You don't need to have a business account before you can apply, but you need to have a business account before you can be funded because your fund, your 5,000 US dollars, will be deposited into your into your bank account. So is a food business a good one for this? Of course, you are giving value. So why not? If you can package and conceptualize it well, if you can present it in a way and a manner that the business will look real to them, why not? You can do a food business. It's part of the SDGs now. Zero poverty. I think hunger, yes. Zero poverty and hunger is part of it. So will everybody be trained? Will everybody be trained in the 12 weeks? Yes, that's what they've been doing recently. Once you apply and they see that what you are submitting makes a lot of sense, they would onboard you into the 12 weeks training. but that doesn't automatically mean that you will be given the grant. It is what you do with the knowledge that you get from the 12 weeks training that you convert to your business plan and financials that will determine if you will move to the next phase of funding. So I think that solves that. Joy Kang, what's your question? You asked a question on food, and I responded. I said yes, you can have it that way. I think that has been answered. Any other question? Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, it has not been answered. What's the question? Can you drop it again so that I'll treat it before we end the session? You can drop it again, please. We are waiting for you, Joy. Joy, we are waiting for you. Okay, I guess she's not here with us. She's here with us, but she's not also here with us. So, for those that will be transiting to the business plan phase, and if you'll be needing help with the business plan, Mr. Olugbenga Ogunbo Ale is the founder of Grant Writer. So you can do well to contact them. They can help you structure your business plan well in such a way that it should be accepted. So that's this business. That's their link. You can just pen it down so that when you move to that state or that stage, you'll be able to contact them. What if you don't have? What if you do not currently have a business you are running? Can you still apply? Yeah, if you don't have a business, you should have a business idea. The idea is what they are funding. So if you don't have a business, you should have a business idea. And if you have a business idea, of course, you present it. Very, very simple. You present it. So that's Grantmaster. That's their website. You can just copy it and pen it down. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the session. I pray and hope that everyone here would make it to the funding session. You need to put in a lot of work. You need to put in a lot of diligence. You need to put in a lot of seriousness into it so that you will be able to, construct and present something that can be spent on, something that can be funded. Thank you very much once again. If I have any other resources to send to you, I will send to your mail. Since you all registered, I will send it to all the mails that registered. Thank you very much. Wishing you all a blessed and amazing weekend. Cheers and God bless you all.
Africa is a land of opportunities. There's no better time to be and become an entrepreneur in Africa. Government is to set the right environment, but the private sector must take lead and take charge. Having been an entrepreneur myself, let me help to create more. That is behind the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. I am committing $100 million to support the next generation of African entrepreneurs. The program represents a decade-long commitment to support 10,000 African entrepreneurs and startups. The program is open to entrepreneurs from all 54 African countries. Over the next 10 years, our goal is to generate 1 million jobs through these 10,000 businesses and to help contribute at least $10 billion to revenues across Africa through this. What we wanted to do was to democratize luck. We're not targeting any sector. We just want people who believe in themselves, who have ideas that can develop the continent. And so that was what drove us.
To select the best candidates, the foundation developed a clearly defined selection criteria against which the application will be evaluated. In the first 3 years, the foundation has provided $15 million as seed capital funding to the 3,000 entrepreneurs across Africa to support their businesses. In addition, the foundation has invested over $10 million in building the technology infrastructure, content, and marketing of the entrepreneurship program. To help achieve Mr. Elumelu's vision, the foundation is supported by the prestigious investment firm Heirs Holdings and by one of the country's oldest institutions for Africa, which operates in 19 African countries.
We need to understand the philosophy of Afro-capitalism. This is realizing first that the private sector has a role to play in the development of our continent. So at Heirs Holdings, we know that we have to be profitable, but more importantly, we know we have to impact mankind, humanity in a sustainable fashion. What we do through the Tony Elumelu Foundation is to make sure that this economic philosophy is inculcated in the minds of young entrepreneurs who are coming up. The essence of the foundation is giving capital, you learning how to manage capital, because if you manage $1, you learn and know how to manage $1 billion. And we're very appreciative to our over 500 mentors across the globe who stay up at night when necessary to support these entrepreneurs.
And finally, the Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs are now traveling each year across Africa, from Casablanca, Cape Town, Dakar, Nairobi to Lagos, creating an unprecedented gathering of African entrepreneurs from 54 African countries.
I'm from Ghana,
Sudan,
Rwanda,
Niger.
Je viens du Gabon.
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Rise up to meet it. I wish you all a wonderful 2 days of learning and networking.
You are building the biggest network of African entrepreneurs and African businesses. You're here also to obviously learn from those who've been through the baptism of fire. All the members, the international delegations who have come, many of them have traveled at their own expense to come to Lagos, because they can feel that African entrepreneurs are on the rise. Yeah, they have come to experience firsthand what it is to engage and speak with the entrepreneurs directly.
You are not the average millennial. You are African millennials, which is something different. Because in terms of innovation, we are #1 in some technological niches. We are #1 in digital payment. You will be the first generation to be able to say, through all your own efforts, Africa is now first in many domains.
For many of the entrepreneurs, the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Forum is the first opportunity to network, build cross-border business partnership, and showcase their business ideas.
I want to provide rural areas in Gambia that have completely no electricity, access to electricity, and that's through solar home systems.
We are into branding, digital marketing, and consulting.
Restaurant of Beauty is all about creativity out of our African prints.
Je suis dans l'agrobusiness, dans la production et la transformation de tomates.
We want to see a Ghanaian interact with someone from South Africa and let them build economic ties. Ultimately, people do business with those they are comfortable with those they know. And nations and people who have economic ties don't go to war. From this point of view, the future leaders of Africa must indeed have platforms that bring them together. You have to create the environment, the condition that will make life easier for them and make them competitive. And that is why we have teamed up with other leaders.
Hope and imagination are more potent than history, because your history is not necessarily your destiny. Indeed, your history must not be your destiny. The breadth and depth of talent and innovation on display in the current and previous Tony Elumelu entrepreneurship cohorts have shown that there is indeed hope.
The Tony Elumelu Foundation has achieved a lot, and I see this in the faces of young Africans I meet with, I interact with when I travel to countries, and it's amazing what you see, the energy you see, the hope that has been brought back to these young Africans. I hear stories of how entrepreneurs are transforming their communities already. To me, that's a true validation of what the foundation is doing, a validation also of our chosen approach to intervene.
The secret is the training I got from Tony Elumelu Foundation, and I'm so grateful to them.
We took the money that we had from Tony Elumelu, and we did $1.6 million last year.
So the foundation should be satisfied that we indeed have orchestrated a movement on the continent of entrepreneurship. We have seen the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program grow from first year 20,000 applicants, second year 45,000 applicants, and now over a doubling to 93,000 applicants. That is mind-blowing.
Among those entrepreneurs, over 25 sectors are represented. Interestingly, the biggest of them is agriculture, leading the sectors with 27%.
I'm happy also that the female representation has improved, but a bit saddened by the fact that some hopes have been dashed. And we at Tony Elumelu Foundation are open for partnership so that collectively we can create a better future for our young ones.
We have to collectively, each according to his capability, join hands in helping to transform Africa. And you and other entrepreneurs must keep passing the baton until more poverty in Africa, until there's no need for our people to search outside for success when indeed success resides in Africa. This is the future we want for Africa. And this is the future that is now in your hands. Good luck.
Join us as we transform Africa. Visit TonyElumeluFoundation.org.